Have you been trying to improve your singing by yourself? Practicing with countless YouTube videos, apps, or Instagram reels? Following some random exercises and singing the same songs over and over again just to notice that it's kind of not working? Let me tell you this. The reason is not that you're untalented, it actually lies a bit deeper than that. Let me tell you what you actually need to improve your singing skills. I often talk about talent on this channel and what it actually is. So from my previous videos, you may have seen that talent is mostly about early exposure, some kind of confidence, or being able to sing without being shamed for it. But is it actually enough to become a really good singer? I don't think so. And this is why. First of all, of course, is regular practice. Rome wasn't built in a day. There is no skill that has been built overnight, especially when it comes to our body, to our nervous system, or to music, for that matter. Regular and especially correct practice will more probably bring you there than just having some kind of so-called talent. The most important thing is that your practice is targeted on the spots where you have issues, so it has to be personalized to you and your instrument and your body, of course your experience and your difficulties. Without a regular practice, we cannot expect something to develop, especially not a body skill. 2. Nervous system regulation and flexibility. This one is maybe less obvious one, so let me explain. Singing is about our nervous system getting used to this kind of new action that our body is now doing. So basically, it's about feeling new things inside of your laryngeal area. Laryngeal area is where our vocal folds and the muscles that control pitch are situated. First, when you start lessons and your vocal coach gives you some direction or some feedback, often the student cannot actually even comprehend what exactly is going on, what exactly is meant by it. They can rarely hear the difference, but the most important thing is that they cannot feel it in their body. They cannot feel like, oh, what did I do differently? So she's now telling me I sound better. Here, I advise all of my students to re-listen the recordings from our lessons so that they can hear themselves from the side and also listen to my direction and to my comments once again to kind of like try and train their ears as well to hear those little things, and then maybe later to try and reproduce them in your own body. First, when I started training, I was being able to control only kind of like big major things, or sometimes not even them. I remember I was compensating with my tongue a lot, so my tongue position was not optimal. It was kind of like rising all the time. My teacher would tell me that, yeah, it's in the way and you should kind of like control it and put it back. And I wasn't able to do it. I was actually practicing in front of the mirror, seeing my tongue rising to the occasion and not being able to do anything with it. But then I kind of like started trying little by little to first build awareness about it. Like, when is it happening? Why is it happening? And then I tried to counteract it. And over time, I was actually being able to produce the same sounds without compensating with my tongue. So this was the first step. And then later, I started noticing my laryngeal area. I started feeling the things I haven't been feeling before. And this is the nervous system adjusting to the process of singing and the self-awareness rising about the processes that is happening in our throat while we do this. What is flexibility? Flexibility is our nervous system to actually be able to rewrite the neuronal pathways in our brain or create new ones and kind of like learn some kind of action. For instance, if you're a very stressed and anxious person, if you are now in an acute burnout or in a state of distress, in a fight or flight mode, when your parasympathetic nervous system is activated, In this case, it will probably be a bit harder in the beginning to build this very fine awareness around your voice, just because the nervous system is quite rigid in this state and it cannot adjust so easily, it cannot let go so easily. So in this case, we will have to just work on the regulation of nervous system, on getting out of this fight or flight or maybe freeze response, and this will in perspective allow your nervous system to be more flexible. 3. Enjoying the process. I cannot stress this enough. This applies to any skill in your life, but especially with singing, you gotta be patient. This is a process, and as I mentioned before, we work with our body. It's not that simple. We need to enjoy this journey to be actually able to learn it, to become better, to not give up when things get hard or maybe frustrating. Because let me tell you, it can get frustrating when you're working on one thing. You just work and work and work, you practice with the recordings, with the guidance of your vocal coach, and still it can take time, it can take months or years to achieve a certain goal. So enjoying the process now plays a very, very big role in learning how to sing. The vocal lessons don't have to be rigid, they don't have to be top down, and they don't have to be a place of achievement and a constant self-improvement. They can also be a safe space where you can come independently on how you feel or how you mentally are in the moment. It can be a place of release, it can be a place of laughter and just goofing around. It can be also a place of connection to yourself through the song, through activation of this vagus nerve when we sing. Try to see vocal lessons and vocal training more like a complete journey and enjoy every minute of it instead of putting some kind of goal on the pedestal and being frustrated with yourself and frustrated with your teacher and frustrated with the whole thing just because you cannot achieve it in a blink of an eye. Lastly, but probably most important thing, is you need a good vocal coach who is competent and qualified to guide you in this journey. This might sound a bit like, okay, all the apps and all the YouTube videos and everything is basically useless and you need to come and pay money to a vocal coach. But it's actually not quite true. All those exercises and videos and tips that you can find on the net about singing, or the exercises you can find that a lot of coaches post, they are not useless per se. And they may be really, really good for certain type of problems. The thing is that if you're doing it alone, without the guidance of a vocal coach, you do not know where you are actually at and what exactly you need. In the worst case, you may harm your voice with some kind of exercises, or maybe attempting to do some vocal maneuvers like belting without any proper training and without actually knowing how to do it safely. Or in the best case, I would say it will just be not as productive as working with a personalized guidance. Because as I said, if you're doing the wrong exercise, or even if you're doing a correct exercise but in the wrong way, it will not help your progress. So you may be just wasting your time. If you have been wanting to sing, if you have been trying to do it by yourself and practicing and questioning yourself and asking yourself, why is it not working? Why am I not getting better? This might be your answer, that you are doing the things that are not suitable to your case. Or maybe you have been even doing the correct things, but your technique was not ideal. The way you have been doing that was not balanced enough to bring your nervous system and your muscles in the condition that we want to be able to sing beautifully. This is probably not you. You just need a proper guidance, somebody who will be working with you on your voice you need a vocal coach who has a trained ear exactly for this kind of problems. At the modern vocal training, we are practicing to hear different imbalances in people's voices so that we can categorize them and then apply the correct tools to counteract those imbalances to help a singer sing better, more freely, more balanced. Even if you have two people with the same imbalance, it's not guaranteed that the same tools will work equally good for both of them, because each of us is unique and we need a personalized approach and a flexible teacher who has a lot of knowledge and a lot of tools in their tool case to give to you. So, if you have been practicing by yourself for a while and not seeing any progress, come to my intro session. I will link it down below. Let's meet and have a listen to your voice. Let's talk about your experience and let's see what we can do to bring you closer to your goal.